Okay, we're going to do a little lesson on how to junction or wire multi-strand irrigation wire. So this is a 7-wire multi-strand wire. It has 6 colored wires and 1 common white wire inside of it. They make them in 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, all the way up to, I don't even know how many, probably 20. The first thing we want to do is we want to make sure we have enough wire to play with. So in each multi-strand you're going to see this little nylon string, and that's used to peel back the sheathing on the wire without using a knife and cutting the protective cover on each wire. So you just grab that nylon wire or nylon string and just give it a pull, and that strips it back nice and easy. Once it's stripped, you want to cut off the excess and then unravel these. They're slightly twisted together, so you want to just unravel them so you can get at each wire individually. So once you get to this point, you're going to want to strip the end of each wire. You need to strip it for the appropriate moret size because these are 18 gauge wires, or 22 gauge, sorry. We're going to use a small gel type moret, which is a waterproof moret that has a silicone inside to protect it from water intrusion once it's buried underground. Because this is only about a 1/2 inch, we want to strip the wire enough that it's up in the moret, but it's not exposed past the bottom of the moret. Otherwise you're going to get water shorting that wire out over time as well. So for these morets, we typically strip it about a 1/2 inch, and you're going to do that for each wire. I've already done it for this wire here. As you can see, they're all stripped about the 1/2 inch, and if you put your moret next to that, by the time you tighten that together, your wire is going to be up inside in the silicone and protected nicely. To join these 2 wires together, strip both sides, get the other wires out of the way, and then you're going to cross them like this, and you're going to braid them together so they're nice and tight. Okay, so when you get the wires braided together, you're going to end up with something like this. You can see how the 2 wires are split apart slightly. That's helpful because there is a metal cone inside of this moret that spirals down to a point, and as you twist this moret on, it grabs the wire and pulls it up tighter and tighter into that cone, and that's what holds it nice and tight. If you have just one single strand like this and you try to moret this moret on, it's just going to end up spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. It's not going to grab it. So it's nice to have a little bit of a separation there, or even if you're using a solenoid wire where it's a multi-braided wire going onto a single strand like this, you can create a little bit of a cone at the end, or you can fold the end over and twist it together with some linesman pliers like these. And just make sure you give it a nice twist so it's nice and tight, and that's not going to come apart at all now. It's super tight. Once you put your moret on, you always want to turn it in a clockwise direction and just keep twisting it until it's nice and tight. The reason we have all this extra wire is so that we can take these wires like this and we can twist this moret together to the point that it actually braids the 2 wires together like this, and this just creates a nice clean connection so that the next person coming to look at this junction can separate the wires and say, okay, these are connected, these are connected. And we're going to do the exact same thing for all 7 of these wires, and then once I go ahead and do that, we'll stop the video and then I'll start it up again and I'll show you how we'll finish this off. Okay, so once you got all these wires braided together, you know your morets are nice and tight because the wires have braided on themselves and the moret is still not spinning in place. You can take this bunch of wires like this and you can braid these together just to create a nice little wrap, and then you can take your common, wrap it around there, and then you're set to just set that in a valve box in the ground at grade. And this is a nice easy way for someone to come and service this later, that you can just undo your common, unwrap these, and they're going to know which wire is going where. It's not just a jumbled mess in there. So yeah.